But sometimes the insides don't live up to the expectations on the outside. So we've gathered together the most talented amateur interior designers who think they could be the next big thing to show us how it's done. But it's not as easy as it looks.
Oi!
Cracky.
Bit stressed.
Across 3 knockout episodes, a group of designers will compete for one place in finals week.
I'm feeling a bit like,
Who built this?
I love it.
Judging them, 2 industry experts, Daniel Hopwood.
To make it through to the final 4, they will have to impress with every inch of their designs.
And Sophie Robinson.
These designs really do need to be outstanding.
They'll be scrutinising presentation skills,
That's not the way to present to somebody.
artistic flair,
Have you ever seen that done before?
No, it's weird.
and how well they deliver their brief.
Pretty amazing transformation.
Absolutely beautiful.
In the finals, the best will face giants of the design world. Oliver Heath,
Oh my word.
Orla Kiley,
It does look quite rough.
and Kelly Hoppen.
I want perfection.
But only one can be crowned winner of the Great Interior Design Challenge. Last time, 3 amateur designers battled to impress the judges.
The orange is definitely going to warm the design and just make it a bit more funky.
That's just not enough.
1 went home. 2 of them made it through.
I'm really, really proud of myself.
I'm just so chuffed to have got as far as this.
The competition's about to get even more interesting. This time, the last 2 amateur designers in our group are in Sussex, battling it out for a quarter-final place by bringing 2 medieval bedrooms up to date in timber-framed houses. Going head-to-head are 2 very different designers.
Rob is the great inventor that comes up with quirky details. Now, if you could turn those into one solid scheme, I think we've got a winner.
Oh, hang on a minute. He's up against Lucy, who is a whirling dervish of creativity. There is nothing that that girl can't turn her hand to.
It's their toughest challenge yet.
Oh, why isn't it easy?
I'm not seeing any level of calmness. I'm seeing blind, kind of nervous energy.
Is more of a maker than an integrator.
Only 1 will make it through. The designer going through to the quarterfinals is... The design battle's taking place in a historic spot in East Sussex. How many of us have dreamed of living in a picture-perfect timber-frame medieval house? The ones here in the village of Robertsbridge are up to 700 years old, amongst the oldest in the country, and they easily conjure up a romantic vision of oldie-worldy England. Now our 2 amateur designers must work for 21st century clients and transform a small bedroom each.
I'm actually going to make the bed. At the end of the bed, there's going to be sort of like a little toy trunk.
Both designers have spent the past week working on a brief from their homeowners.
I'm nervous because of the anticipation. There's only 2 of us in this round, so a lot more to lose, I think.
They've each got a small team to help them, including a decorator and a builder.
Oh my God, you're having a laugh.
It's easy!
They also have a budget of £1,000 and 3 days to make their transformations.
This is the cave we're going to be working in. To make it through to round 3, just wicked, and hopefully when I go through to the quarterfinals, that'll be even better still.
Like, those shelves might have to be moved centred later, but we'll worry about that.
First up is textile design teacher Lucy.
We've got another inch this way.
Lucy is hugely innovative and can turn her hand to almost anything, but because she tries to do that little bit too much, the end result is rather shonky when we're looking for sleek. Now, if she can rein it in, get that quality up, then I might be really impressed.
This time, Lucy's redesigning what was a bland guest bedroom, which Sophie and Daniel checked out before work began.
It's a really nice, light and bright room, isn't it?
Yes, it's perfect proportions. Even though this room, I can imagine, was carved out of a much larger room at one stage.
Lucy's clients are furniture restorers with a very specific brief. They want a 19th century Swedish scheme with a built-in box bed.
I think this time the challenge for Lucy is going to be actually to get the spatial planning right, because the homeowner wants a built-in bed, but very Scandinavian style.
One thing the brief asks for is for something folksy and handmade, and that really plays to Lucy's strengths, but she is going to have to rein it in. Not too many makey-doos on this one.
The main challenges are that it's quite a small room. I don't want to overcrowd it, as I might have done in the past.
She's reduced how much stuff she's adding, but the ambition remains, with a huge bespoke built-in bed the centrepiece of her traditional Scandi scheme of soft blues and creams, with hand-painted floral details.
So I'm going to show you the mood board.
She had to get the okay from client Anne before work started.
What I want to do is a very hand-finished look for you.
It's not just her Lucy must impress. Sophie and Daniel will be keeping a close eye on both designers, as once again they'll be judged on their presentation skills.
What I want to make for you is this bed from the 1830s, which I know you like.
Yes,
I've used that as inspiration, and I've actually found some lovely timber in a skip, which is 100-year-old pine, painted pine, and it's actually blue-grey. And then I'm going to decorate the bed for you, so it's going to be the central focus of the room.
That's what I wanted, yes, absolutely.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Lucy's using rose mailing, a traditional Scandinavian hand-painting technique, to add floral patterns to the bed.
There'll be a built-in cupboard wardrobe at the end.
Wonderful, yeah.
And this is your colour palette. So the walls are going to be a rich, creamy, neutral.
More or less
very similar. And then we've got sisal on the floor, and then some rag rugs to soften that on top.
Just what I wanted.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
I think that's a really ambitious build, and it looked lovely in her sketch, but to make that look like an authentic Scandinavian box bed is going to take quite a lot of mastery.
Just moments into work, Lucy realises she forgot a key part of her presentation.
Right. I've bought the floor plan to show you because I forgot to include it in my presentation. So the built-in bed will be here. Then we've got the small chest there, just that's such a beautiful thing with some more of your objects on it.
Yeah, that sounds very good. I think she really understood the brief, and it seems the organisation of the room will be just perfect.
But as Lucy's discovering,
25. It's
Working in these tiny, wonky rooms is a challenge.
massively smaller than I anticipated. But I'm just wondering if Laurie moves, if he's in your way and paints the ceiling over there, because we can always...
I'll be here hours getting this level, if you want it level.
Jostling for space isn't the only issue.
So, do we shorten legs or lengthen legs?
Shorten legs.
Traditional Scandinavian beds were built high off the floor to keep out drafts. Lucy was planning to keep hers low for easy access, but her client wants authenticity.
Do you mind if we shorten the legs?
No, most of those beds you actually step up to.
Yes.
Actually, they're high.
Yes.
Rather than low.
Well, I think we need to take it up like another 6 inches.
Do you?
Yeah.
I think it would be very nice if it was higher.
We'll look into it, but I'm sure it's possible. We've measured the height of the bed. It's got to be another 25 centimetres high. So the builder's now going to get the legs ready to raise it. I know once he gets started, it won't be as awful as it is now.
Competing against Lucy for a place in the quarter-final is engineering manager Rob.
Rob's a wonderful inventor, but he can have problems setting those products into one cohesive scheme. This time, I want to see brilliance both in product design, but also interior design.
The room Rob's working on this time started out as a cluttered 7-year-old boy's bedroom.
This is a tiny room, but I know it's for a young man.
Well, I think it's one of the challenges, isn't it, with children's room is, you know, obviously it's a place for them to rest, relax and sleep, but it's also a space to store all their toys.
But there is another challenge in this room. It's part of a medieval house, so Rob has got 8 foot by 8 foot to deal with, so good luck to him.
Rob's young client has set his sights on a Batman-inspired fantasy den.
There's a super opportunity for Rob to do a very cohesive scheme and yet bring out all that great creative product design that we know he's really talented at.
Exactly. It's a perfect project for him, but because of that, I expect nothing less than excellence.
Rob's going all out with a dramatic superhero scheme, complete with a Batmobile-inspired bed, dark walls with menacing skyline and moody lighting.
For me as a designer, this was just superheroes, little gadgets and trick stuff, secret bits and bobs. The scheme is called James's Superhero Sanctuary.
Rob had to get the go-ahead from his client James and Mum Mary before work began.
Look at that Batmobile!
So, what do you think initially?
I want my bed to be like that.
Fantastic.
Your bed is going to be like that.
Yeah!
And on the side, where you've got these wheels here, that's where the little toy chest's going to be.
Fantastic.
I've got some Lego, which I'm actually going to make you a tower lamp, like one of the buildings from Gotham. One of the big things I'm going to do is the cityscape is going to go against this wall, and it's going to be lit with some LED lights as well.
Awesome!
All right.
Rob's bold ideas are an instant hit with James, but Mum Mary has concerns.
The walls are going to be painted in this grey.
If it's okay, just to see what a bit of this looks like in here,
Yeah, of course,
and then
yeah.
if it needs to kind of come up a shade lighter,
Yeah, we can lighten it up.
that would be ideal.
Yeah, Are we good to go? Have we got the seal of approval?
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
It's a really cohesive scheme, lots of original thought. I mean, I love the Gotham City wall with the LED lighting. Trouble is that homeowner's chickening out of that strong grey, and I think that room needs it. I think if it goes lighter, he'll lose the effect.
While the dark grey is tested on the walls, Rob makes a start on his ambitious build.
You know, the cityscape background and the Batmobile bed, they're going to be my two sort of main projects.
It's the biggest bespoke item he's tackled in the competition.
Yeah, it's looking good. Right, put it down. Yeah.
In such a tiny room, his measurements must be spot on.
So I'm just trying to get an idea of how it might look by putting myself at that level, which is a bit hard when I'm not the same height as a 7-year-old. So probably somewhere around about there, if I can be something close. Yeah, that looks cool. If I was 7.
And relax.
Thank God we've got this shade here.
Already up against it, both designers now have the added pressure of being judged on their presentations. Lucy won in the first round, but the victory was Rob's last time.
When do we go? Do we ride at dawn?
I don't know if I'll win the presentation today because I forgot the floor plan. That's going to go against me. I really, fingers crossed, I hope I can pull it out the bag.
How well they've done at this stage will count in the judges' final decision.
Nerve-wracking.
As the competition progresses into the quarterfinals, we are going to be scrutinising every single detail.
And I've scrutinised you, Lucy. I think you presented this project beautifully well. I understood what you're going to do in that room, but there were no plans. What's a project without plans? It's where I start. I felt quite disappointed.
Rob, I think we've seen a great improvement on how you do your presentations. And you created a really great rapport with your 7-year-old client. The homeowner, however, got cold feet about the shade of grey that you're going to paint on the walls, and I think you conceded a little quickly, and it could mean that your scheme is compromised. Had you done a better coloured, rendered, three-dimensional sketch, you might have kept her on board.
With a quarter-final place at stake, this is a crucial moment.
We have taken into account every single detail, and the winner is Rob. Well done.
Thanks.
Lucy, nice presentation, didn't quite make the mark this time.
Because of the plans.
I know. Gutted I forgot my floor plan. It's knocked my confidence a little bit, to be honest.
I'm ecstatic that I won that, and that's sort of, for me, twice on the trot now, so that's a really good boost to my confidence.
With confidence levels varied, they get straight back to work. Each hoping to impress with their design ideas, in houses that were built with showing off in mind. The Weald of Sussex and Kent was a rich heartland of medieval England, and if you were prosperous enough round these parts, you'd probably have lived in a Wealden Hall house, the dream homes of their age. Their owners spent their wealth on lavish timber frames and huge central halls, the full height of the building, and the biggest luxury of all, a private bedroom. A 12th century Norman abbey once stood on this site before it was moved to a more secluded spot, but people have been digging up its remains ever since. This might have been part of the architrave or archway of the abbey. With such British heritage here, Lucy's Scandinavian brief could be hard to make fit.
I'm just sanding back this old chest of drawers to give it a 1830s Swedish overhaul. I'm going to paint it a kind of dark greeny grey and then do some hand-painted detailing on it.
She's aging the furniture by sanding, painting and distressing it.
Too hot. It's so hard in this heat, isn't it? Thank God I'm not upholstering sofas.
Lucy's determined to keep this scheme realistic, having been over-ambitious throughout the first 2 rounds.
I want to get the chair painted, the table base painted, finish the cupboard. Oh, I've got to make the chandelier. Oh, and cut the ottoman in half.
Though she's proved she can deliver innovative and impressive designs.
We've got this magical backlit bed, which looks like it's floating.
Oh, this is super. And I think there's some really lovely styling in here.
Hi.
How are you getting on officially the hottest day of the year?
Yes, it's hard. It's really hard in this heat, I must say.
And you've got loads to do.
Yes, yeah.
Ambitious project again.
I didn't think it was so ambitious for me. It's more the builder. Sorry, builder. The traditional Swedish beds are quite high.
So have you got enough wood for it? So you were going for some old pine that you'd found?
Yes. I think we have. We might have to combine it with MDF. I'm desperately hoping I can marry the two together and distress. I hate to use the word MDF next to the pine, but I'm hoping you won't notice.
If she mixes MDF with the pine in order to make up with the wood that she's lacking, we're in trouble, because that bed will not look authentic Scandinavian.
Rob's bed must be fit for a superhero, requiring some intricate soaring.
With the bed that I'm doing, because it's like a Batmobile bed, so at one end it has tail fins for it. So they're going to protrude up quite a bit. How's the back looking with the fins?
Smashing.
Yes, bring it in. All right.
Young James may be happy, but with his dark grey paint now dry in the room, Mum Mary is checking up.
Would it be a terrible bother to keep this colour here and maybe lighten some areas?
I don't think it would necessarily be the biggest problem. I think one place where it might not be quite so bad is the cityscape that I did.
Okay.
Make it a bit more almost dusky rather than nighttime.
Okay.
After the judges warned Rob not to compromise his design, he's taking a big risk.
I think I could have given in, but I don't feel like I did, and I feel like I've stood my ground with it, and the design isn't going to be hampered.
Rob has a point to prove after being a little inconsistent in the first 2 rounds. He began by prioritising product design.
It's a nice little jab, would double up as a nice little lampshade.
When you walk in this room, it looks really impressive. But frankly, if you look behind me, it's all really quite plain.
And then went too far to prove he could deliver a unified scheme.
Blue, blue, blue.
I think kind of blends into each other a little bit too much. I'd like to have seen a bit more gold in here, for example.
Now he's got to innovate and decorate in equal measure.
It's actually getting all those pieces to hang together
Yeah.
in one overall scheme that we really want to see.
I'm approaching it from a slightly different angle this time. 2 of the big pieces in the room, the bed and the cityscape, although they are the bigger pieces, they're 2 of the kind of the quirky touches that I'm putting into it as well.
Which colour grey are you going to go for?
I would like to go with the grey that I came in here with, because that's what my design was sort of based around. But I do want to keep the room quite light, because the black bed and the black background, they could suck a little bit of that lightness out of the grey.
He's thinking of using a paler grey. What he doesn't realise is actually the darker colour will look better. All his accessories will jump out, and there are other ways that he can make that room look lighter rather than just using the paint.
We only need to get to that light fitting with the ceiling.
On top of their room schemes at this 3rd round stage, the judges have another challenge up their sleeve: to turn a load of old junk into a bespoke standalone product.
The judges would like to see. Yeah, okay. Bum, bum, bum.
Have I really got to go?
By setting the challenge, we've freed the designers of the constriction of a brief, so we can actually see how instinctively good designers they are. Now, you're both fighting for a place in the quarterfinals, so we've decided to up the stakes a little bit. There are a lot of things in this van. You can take as much as you want. What we want you to do is turn it into something that is either a great product or a homeware that you could be really proud of.
This is an opportunity for you to be wildly innovative. We want you to play to your strengths and create a statement piece that shows me and Dan who you really are as a designer. So designers, you have 10 minutes to rummage around in this van and take what you want. Get going.
We get a few things out and have a look.
Sophie and Daniel will decide which designer shows the most creativity and delivers the best item. A win here could help them secure their place in the quarter-final.
You just take what you want, because I am. I'm taking this lot here.
Yeah, that's all right, yeah.
I think this is really exciting because these 2 are both hugely innovative. I mean, you know, you've got Rob, who makes brilliant products. You've got Lucy, who can turn her hand to literally anything we've shown her so far.
Lucy's pile of junk includes old coffee tables, a copper pipe, and a lamp.
I'm thinking maybe some kind of light or some kind of shelving.
Rob selected a copper basket, a broom handle, and an old bike.
We've got this old fella.
Designers, time is up.
When I was looking at Lucy's, I thought, oh, I do like the look of that. But I dare say she liked the look of some of mine, but she's not having it.
This is a time challenge, and they get 90 minutes on day 2 to complete it.
It's the afternoon of the first day, and both designers are busy. Lucy's cream walls have been painted, and she's bringing some colour to the scheme with subtle, authentic touches.
What I'm going to do is do a bit of hand painting on the wardrobe, inspired by a Scandinavian wardrobe design I found. I'm just going to do a simple border around the door. Colour's good. Pleased with that.
There's far less restraint at Rob's, as he puts in motion his plan for a bat bed with scrap tyres.
Looks cool, actually.
It's been a rigorous first day.
Oh dear, I don't know. It's such a challenge, isn't it? I mean, a big room was hard, but a little room's got its different.
Yeah, well, it's funny when you get stuff in and out of the room and, you know, people
Having
coming in and having to duck, yeah.
The designers have been hard at it, working to two very different briefs. Lucy's historical boudoir
Yeah, I think they'll be all right.
is up against Rob's dramatic superhero den.
Yeah, it's going to look cool.
But only one of them will succeed in going through to the next round.
There's still a lot to do. So I think if I can do it and achieve all the things I said I'll do, all is not lost.
Looking forward to tomorrow just to get stuck in again and you know, get it done.
Day 2 has begun. Beds have been built, city skylines are coming to life. But our two designers are going to have to push themselves to the limit if they're going to get through to the next stage.
I'm much more worried about the competition than I ever have been.
It's just having to sort of think on your feet, and in this kind of time scale that you've got, that is a little bit difficult.
By the end of tomorrow, one of these designers will be out of the competition. Hoping it won't be her is Lucy, whose Scandinavian box bed design is being fitted.
I didn't realise quite how big it was.
Although the wonky room isn't making things easy.
He's trying to get the end of the bed in, and it's a fraction out, so he's got to carry it all the way to the end of the garden again to retrim it, which is a nightmare for him.
So she takes time to paint her antique pine with a traditional folk design.
Basically, I did this image at home. I painted this to check out how to do the rose mailing effect, just have a go at it, experiment. I'd love the homeowner to see a bit of the effect. It would give me a bit of more of a confidence boost, I think, if she saw it and I was on the right track.
So the 1830s Swedish, did that kind of faze you when you first saw it?
Immediately, it really fazed me, but then when I researched it, I actually really liked it, the fact that it was so old and antique.
Each time you've done a round, each room has been really different. Do you like that kind of challenge of throwing yourself into something completely different?
I think I do. I think what I know now is that I do love working to a brief, and that the constraints of that really inspire me.
Right, so you're ready to make my lamps for me then?
Rob's lighting up his superhero scheme with some of his trademark lamp inventions, with the help of an electrician.
One of the lamps that I'm doing, it's like it's a Lego tower. So I've kind of left it hollow all the way down with an outlet for the cable.
Did you spend a lot of time on this?
Yeah, quite a lot, yeah.
The blocks are glued together with solvent cement to keep the wires safely inside.
Hey, yeah.
Is that what we're after?
That looks great, that.
Happy with that, he's moving on to his next invention, a secret hidey hole.
When I started thinking about the theme for the room, a big part of that is, superheroes, and I wanted to bring that that fun factor and the secrecy little bit to it, because all superheroes have their own little secret compartments, and I think he should have one as well.
Rob's mounted a framed picture onto sliding hinges he bought from a DIY store for a few pounds each.
Move it in like that and then it will release, and you can open the picture frame out and get to what's behind it. So in theory this would be mounted to a fairly chunky frame behind it.
The chunky frame will create a shallow alcove behind.
Yeah, very happy with that. That's working great.
So Rob, what's it been like to work on a 7-year-old's bedroom? Have you been able to channel your inner boy?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been a fantastic brief.
I know you love making stuff, and
yeah,
you did in the first round. You did less of that in the second round. Have you done?
Yeah, I've tried to maybe find a little bit more of a balance this time. I don't want to just be kind of pigeonholed as a product designer. I'm really starting to get a feel for, doing a cohesive room scheme as a whole.
Alongside their room schemes, the amateurs have been given another challenge. They have 90 minutes to transform junk from a van into a standalone product.
We've devised the challenge to ultimately test our designers' creativity. They've got to play to their strengths and design a one-off item that really shows us who they are as a designer.
As ever, Luce is working hastily with her coffee tables, copper piping and lamp.
It's a shelving unit with lamp attachment. That's gonna go, that fits. I've just thought of the name for it. Table lamp.
Inventive Rob's engineered a plan using the old bike and copper basket.
I'm actually going to make it into a bike lamp. So I've already knocked together all my lamp fittings, are pretty much all done and ready to go.
Both designers have a basic craft box and their builders at their disposal.
Do you think we could make it a big enough hole, Dickie, and put this pipe all the way up the middle?
Luce's approach is a little chaotic.
We ought to probably cut this first, didn't we, to length, but we don't know how long to do it.
She's chosen to turn one table bright blue using a fast-drying spray.
That's it, down all the way.
OK, she's stacking a load of tables on top of each other. Copper pipe in the middle, bulb on the top. Ingenious, she's calling it table.
You love that, don't you? So clever.
Oh, well done.
In his element, Rob is pioneering new ways of working.
Just making a spray glove, which is just something I've literally just invented right now.
The yellow jam jar will replace the broken light bracket at one end, while his broom handle and copper basket will become a lamp head where the saddle once was.
Who'd have thought it? They've both come up with floor lamps.
I know, great floor lamps too. And this is proof in the pudding with Rob. We always say he's a great inventor, and here he is coming up with such fantastic ideas.
I think he's loving it. This is what we wanted from our designers. We wanted them to rise to the challenge.
With time ticking on, both designers are racing to meet the 90-minute deadline.
How long have we got on this?
About 5 minutes.
Oh.
How well they've transformed their junk will help determine who will win a place in the quarter-final.
Yeah, that's lovely.
I would call this piece the unrideable ride. Yeah, I'm happy overall.
Having lost out to Rob on the client presentation, Lucy's pinning her hopes on a victory this time.
Fingers crossed, because this is a very vintage lamb. Yay! There you go. Look, Dickie, look.
Oh, it's very impressive.
I'm pleased with that.
Which one will take the crown? All will be revealed later.
Now I've just got all the other stuff to do.
Back to their room schemes. And our designers are making their changes to these medieval homes that have survived for centuries. These buildings are made from sturdy oak beams infilled with wattle and daub. Underneath this lime-washed skin are woven branches, the wattle, smoothed over with a combination of mud, animal dung and straw, the daub. It's amazing to think such fragile materials have survived for so long, protected from the elements underneath those steeped pitched eaves. The technology that went into these buildings was high-tech for the day, even for our day. Entire walls, complete with doors and windows, were prefabricated off-site, brought to the spot, hoisted up, connected together, like some kind of medieval flat pack. And those curved beams are special to this area, a medieval innovation to stop the whole frame from sagging, to give it some extra strength. Lucy has come up with her own bespoke flat pack, a Scandinavian-style built-in bed.
Are we in? Are we in?
But bad news, she's run out of pine.
Because the bed's taller than it was originally, the timber's tight. But a lot of it's come from a skip, the old pine, and then we're combining it with MDF. And I want to kind of patchwork it together to make it even more authentic.
Lucy's hoping she can blend the MDF into the bed frame by distressing it first.
The builder's not overly happy with that, but I'm going to try and persuade him.
Before either of the designers get any further, their homeowners are paying them a visit to check on the progress of their rooms.
In an ideal world, it would be further on.
Any problems at this stage could have a major impact on their schemes.
This is a point where there's sort of like most change in the room so far.
After compromising a little on colour, Rob is nervous.
All the greys on, we're just looking at lightening the grey for the one wall.
His client's mum is going away on a trip, so won't see Rob finish the scheme.
I really am very much looking forward to seeing the room. Today will be the last chance that I get to put my oar in, as it were.
Hello.
Hello, can I come in?
Yes, of course.
But has Rob got it right?
How are you?
Oh, wow, look at this. It's not that gloomy.
So that's just the test patch of the lighter grey that we've done. So we mixed a couple and did a few tests.
I think, you know, in principle, having something a bit lighter to offset Gotham City is just good anyway. You know, I'm really pleased that you've done this.
I'll see you shortly. I think the midway reveal went really well. I haven't come away thinking, oh God, what do I do with this? I've got to change that.
Hi there. We're on the way, but a long way to go. But so I've started to do these.
Ooh, wow.
These are the panel.
For the front there.
Yes.
Yeah, they're nice.
It's obvious how much Lucy has taken on, even to her client.
We're now 1:30, so you have not so long to go. Do you think you're going to manage finishing everything?
I've got to do the curtains. But I've got tomorrow morning and this evening. Well, I'm quite speedy, so I think it'll be all right.
Yeah,
I better get back to work, crack on.
Yeah, get everything done.
Okay.
It's just really fantastic. And the only concern is whether she'll have time to finish.
I think I'm worried slightly about timing. Obviously, I'm human. There's a lot to do.
Time may be against the designers, but the passing of time has made these houses what they are today.
This staircase might be rickety, but it's not that old. When the house was built, this was the outside wall, and this, a window. And in here, there's another charming feature. Up there, some pargeting, very simple form of decorative plasterwork. It would have been applied to the door with a stick, like an early form of interior design. Before it was subdivided, this would have been one huge space with a fire in the middle, but it would have been very acrid. All the smoke and ash would have flown through the air and up out through the rafters. But in the 17th century, a fireplace and a chimney was added. And it was a multifunctional design with a little cubbyhole here for storing your spices, your salt and your wigs to keep them dry and warm before the advent of central heating.
Modern advancements made life easier, but there's nothing easy about working in these higgledy-piggledy rooms, as Lucy's team once again tries to fit the bed.
You all right? I'm crossing my fingers, Dick. Dickery-doo-dah.
I haven't checked the length or anything. It's a bit dark.
Oh, no. It's too tall, is it? Oh, why isn't it easy? Can't we chop a bit out the bed?
To add to the chaos, they all have to clear the room for the new sisal flooring to be fitted. So Lucy cracks on outside, making rag rugs for her Scandi scheme.
So I'm just going to hand stitch 3 of these together to make one big rug.
It's a cheap way of making a large rug, as they cost us £5 each, but it'll eat up more time.
I know what you're like, Lucy. You like making things. Have you paid it back this time?
Yes, I was.
Honestly?
Honestly, there's the bed, the wardrobe and a chest of drawers.
You're doing less is more.
Oh, I'm trying.
Wow.
For the first time.
The first time ever in your life.
For Rob's action-packed scheme, the garden is filling up. Progress is flying along with the bat bed. His cityscape is constructed, and there are winged creatures aplenty.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with that.
One of which will be projected across the room from a lamp made out of an empty tin.
This is quite another important feature of the room. So I just need to clean it up And if I can just trim this up and make it nice and smooth, then we shouldn't have any issues with, you know, scratching and cutting and things like that.
The miniature MDF bat will be attached to the centre of his lamp, so it casts a shadow across the room.
Well, it's pretty good, yeah, I'm quite happy with that.
It is tiny in here, and I'm looking out there, and it's looking like a film set with loads of stuff. How are you going to pack it into here, Rob?
Yeah, well, it's a good question, but I'm going to introduce, you know, a shelf in here as well, so a couple of things can be lifted off the ground. We've got a toy chest, which is going to sort of fit in with the line of the bed. So that's not really a space that could be used for playing, but it'd be great for storage.
If you noticed, all that room's got in it, it's grey paint and everything is outside, which shows to me that it's more of a maker than an integrator.
Leaving his blockbusting scheme in pieces across the garden, Rob's off to see his rival's scheme.
It could be that I walk in and go, uh-oh, I've got a lot more work to do. I like that blue, that's nice.
Oh, good.
Have you painted those by hand?
Yes. So you got much to do now. How long are you staying?
Loads,
yeah.
Loads, absolutely loads.
Oh.
But it seems it's made him more confident.
Some of the hand detailing stuff that she'd done, you know, it's really nice stuff, but it's not something I'd do or something I'd really have, you know, in my own home. But I'm sure there's plenty of stuff that I've done that she, you know, probably wouldn't put into hers.
Day 2 is drawing to a close, and Lucy is still worrying over her workload.
We've got to finish this bed, do the door for the wardrobe, cupboard, make curtains, pillows, things like that. I want to go through, but at this stage I can't see the wood for the MDF.
Rob has finally got a key piece of his design into the room.
I'm just kind of looking at the cityscape that I've brought in. Seems to work really well, I think. Light's fading a bit. We're going to start wrapping up and get back to the hotel, get a bit of sleep, so I'm ready, you know, firing on all cylinders to go hard at it again tomorrow morning.
It's the morning of the final day. Later on, the judges and the homeowners will see the finished rooms, and what they think of them will determine which designer gets through to the quarterfinals and which one leaves the competition for good. There's just hours left for them to convince the judges that they deserve to be a quarter-finalist.
Didn't get a real lot of sleep last night, so, you know, start of day 3's proving to be a little bit of a killer.
I will nail it. I haven't nailed it yet, but in the next few hours I will.
Lucy's finally painted the bed, but there are still the intricate wardrobe panels to finish.
I need to do this in about half an hour. It's got to be right, so yeah, it is a lot of work.
But she's easily distracted.
How about if we move the wardrobe up near the window? No, because then the...
I think you need to get things finished first and then arrange furniture first.
Do you?
Yeah.
There's no holding her back.
Dickie, I'm sorry, just give me 2 minutes, because I'm a monster. Just grab it. I'll probably swap them back again.
Yeah, I'll speak to you alone. Yeah,
sorry, you can punch me.
Lucy seems to be her usual whirling dervish of creativity.
That's kind of how she operates, firing commands to her team left, right and centre, and they're all just chasing to keep up with her.
Are you going to like these?
She's already on to the next task, adding character to some plain shop-bought curtains.
I've made these borders with hand embroidery because I like the idea of the handmade in this room. And it's sort of gives it a folk element. It's felt, it's all recycled materials.
But this 11th hour make is proving tricky.
It's just the way of doing things like this. It's horrid.
Over at Rob's, a different kind of drama is shaping up.
I've glued my backlight and I've assembled that, so I can tick that off as well. You know, I'm mindful of time. I've kind of got less than 2 hours, so you know, quite a bit doing.
Like building the bed, if he can get it in.
Yeah, this side can just go as is.
With all the pieces together, the battle to build the bat bed begins.
Got 48 minutes.
It's a complete madhouse in Rob's room.
I know, he's finally broken. He's been so cool, calm and collected, and we've been seeing all this stuff that he's making in the garden that he's got to cram into this little room, and the pressure has definitely got the better of him.
With both designers working to wildly different briefs,
2 screws up there.
the judges will compare their creativity by seeing how well they transform junk into a standalone product.
Wow. That's me upcycle.
Hopefully it's a good indication of maybe how my mind kind of works.
A win here will strengthen their chances of securing a place in the quarter-final.
Now this is what I call a challenge. This looks fantastic.
This is Lucy's, and you can see she's got a collection of side tables which she's stacked together. This one got painted blue, and then we've got a little lamp on the top. I notice that's stuck on with blue tack, so I question the construction values.
Yeah, but in 90 minutes, the concept is brilliant.
So, from the sublime to what is it?
It's the sort of thing you see at a festival, really, isn't it?
This is designed to go in, you know, one of these sort of big loft-style apartments, because obviously this isn't going to fit into your average semi. You know, it's just kind of quirky. I love the way that the yellows tie together, so he's thought of it visually tying in.
And gold handlebars. It's fun, and it's got humour, and it's very now.
The judges now have to make a unanimous decision on which of these pieces shows the most creativity.
We did ask them to come up with a finished product, and I think this is a little bit more sophisticated.
I think they're both absolutely fun. I love them, but I think this is going to be the winner.
Rob is in a strong position, having won both this challenge and the client presentation judging earlier on. But Lucy could still overtake him if her room scheme outshines his. And she's determined to show she has learned from past mistakes.
God, that's gorgeous.
Choosing the right number of items to display from her homeowner's Scandinavian artifacts.
I've got to be so careful not to overcrowd the space when I finish, because there's so much stuff. So I just want a few, maybe just like 4 things like that.
She may be learning restraint.
Dick, can you put these here?
But having spent 3 days and £1,000, things are as chaotic as ever.
Oh my God, fathers!
After struggling to balance authenticity with practicality earlier on, Lucy is being risky adding more modern lighting.
You say, did you want it up or down?
Up.
And a £95 rocking chair.
You just get a bit of that it's white emulsion. Don't overcrowd the scheme. It's been a long time since I've done anything like this. And it's so tiring and overwhelming, but so good.
Lucy's brief was to create a traditional Swedish country-style scheme. 3 days ago, the room was plain and unexciting. Now it's a cosy Swedish boudoir with charm. Lucy's designed a 19th century style Scandinavian box bed with built-in storage. She's gone for a traditional folk theme with hand-painted designs, curtain trim and rug, balancing those with contemporary touches.
The homeowner wanted a Swedish country-style bedroom. In the time, yeah, I think I nailed it.
There's a real feeling of magic in this room. That's my first impression.
I would love the idea of sleeping in this bed. It feels really cosy, and in the winter, if it had some curtains behind it that you could draw across, it'd be lovely, very romantic. What is great is the fact that you see in the graining of the wood rather than some flat MDF.
Which is here, though. But I think she's managed to blend the old wood and the new wood in together quite well.
What's letting it down for me is the patterns in the panels. It just looks a bit like she's done it with a dry, flat brush.
But I think it's supposed to look very handmade, quite folksy, quite humble.
She's got the colours absolutely spot on because she's got the blues and she's got that lovely rusty red.
One of the many details in here that I've spotted that I really love is the treatment of the curtains, which really enhances, I think, this folksy theme.
But I think I would have been a little bit more generous with it and maybe taken that lovely detail at the bottom and put it up higher so you could see it.
I think she's gone to a lot of effort to authentically distress everything to look antique, but then we've got a very modern flat pack rocking chair in there.
Yeah, but it's got the right shape, which I like, and I also like the fact that there is an element of contemporary in the room. This is what I love about this, you know. There are times when you just think it's just total madness and everything's random, and you're looking here and there's method in the madness. It's all here.
The concern with Lucy was she might overcrowd this room, put too much stuff in it. And in a small space like this, especially a guest room, there needs to be an element of serenity. And I think she's just about got that right.
I think the homeowner is going to love it, actually. I think it's what she's after. I might be completely wrong, I hope not.
Come on in. Your new guest bedroom.
Oh, my goodness, what a bed.
Well, you can't miss the bed.
No, I mean, I wanted it to be the focus, and look at it. And then the curtains, absolutely lovely, aren't they? And then this chair is so much better than the one that was in here.
Do you think she's come up to scratch?
Yeah, I'm really, really pleased.
Rob's time is nearly up, and he's still got lots to bring in.
18 minutes. We've got to bring the unit in, 2 lamps and the trunk.
But there's trouble with the toy box.
Oh. All right, if you turn that way, Dean.
After compromising his dark scheme on his client's wishes earlier on, Rob must balance the grey walls with moody lights.
Yeah, alright. Looking good. I'm really chuffed with the room. It's all kind of really just come together at well and truly the 11th hour.
Rob was asked to create a Batman-inspired fantasy den for a 7-year-old. Before, the room looked small and overcluttered. Now Rob's designed an adventurous den with a bed fit for a caped crusader. He's turned the walls dark grey with one lighter grey to contrast a cityscape. He's brightened things up with yellow storage, atmospheric lighting with LED lights, a bat motif, plus other bespoke pieces. Finally, there's a secret compartment fit for a superhero.
I'm actually most worried about two things, one of which is the reaction of James, but I do need the judges to like it as well.
Oh, what a little den, eh?
It's a bat cave and it's just what they asked for.
Isn't that ingenious? It's really clever.
Yeah, and it's nice that he's used real wheels because that feels a little bit more grown up than just a painted bed. I'm really glad he kept this darker colour on the walls because it means that his lighting is looking really super.
Absolutely, and he's cleverly closed the blinds so it gives more of an atmosphere in here.
Yeah, and that allows him to show off all his lighting effects, although I'm questioning whether there's enough lighting in here because you don't want it to feel dark and gloomy all the time.
But it does look really good.
I have got a bugbear though.
Oh, what's that?
These toy boxes, they're really large and they just are a place for kids to shove stuff. And if you want something that's the bottom, you're going to have to empty the whole thing on the floor. I just don't think they're very practical.
And that's a secret cupboard where grown-ups can't get in it.
Oh, yeah. And voila, look at that. Keep all your secret bits and bobs in there.
Perfect.
This clearly shows that Rob can pull off a whole cohesive scheme. I think by matching all the fitted furniture in the bed in the black, going for the grey all the way around the room, and then just having fun with sort of feature lighting and, you know, a few quirky product designs. It's just enough to make it interesting.
But it is like putting a jigsaw puzzle together, and he, I think, was a little scared at times, but has pulled it together.
And overall, the room that I've delivered, I think, is, you know, a nice cohesive space for a child to be in, and I want him to love it, really.
Wowzers!
You wanted a bat cave?
Yes!
You've got a bat cave!
It's the most coolest bed I ever seen in my life. Yeah!
What do you think? There's a bat up there, there's a bat above you here.
Yes!
Is it batty enough?
Yes.
Rob's got that right, yeah?
Yeah!
What do you think your mum might think of it?
It would be smashing.
There you go, double thumbs up for Rob.
Oh, yeah!
You look nice.
With both rooms scrutinised, all the designers can do is wait.
How do you get on?
Yeah, well, it's done, isn't it? Now I'm pleased. If the judges let me go through to the next round, I will be ecstatically proud and happy and just, amazed and really chuffed. I was pleased with it, but I think yours was good.
I hope that I do get through, you know, I really do. But I'm as confident as I can be, and I'm going to go in there, you know, with a brave face on and you know, await the judgment.
I mean, terrifically difficult rooms this time. I mean, they're all higgledy-piggledy with beams everywhere. They're dark, they've got creaking floorboards.
And throw in a heat wave in the middle of it all as well.
Now, Rob's always been a really good product designer, but you wanted to see a really coherent, cohesive scheme from him. Did you see it?
Yeah, I think we've achieved it.
Well, he caught the atmosphere, didn't he? I mean, he had a little bit of a wrangle with the homeowner about the depth of grey that he was going to put on the walls, and we're just really pleased to see that he stuck by his guns.
How do you think he's progressed throughout the rounds?
Massively, wouldn't you agree?
Well, he's consistently good at being inventive and making wonderful and interesting things.
As you can imagine, his young client adored it. He loved the bats.
I'm a bit worried about the homeowner, though. She'll never, ever get him to go to sleep in that room. You know that.
Now, what did you think of Lucy's scheme after all that creative chaos she always seems to go through?
We were both really impressed because not only has she taken the homeowner's brief on board and done it really well, but she's just shown that extra little bit of style too.
And I think she's really reined it in to just the right level.
She had a very precise brief, though, the 1830s Scandinavia.
Well, this is where Lucy shows us quite how versatile she is. She can do everything from futuristic all the way to something that's a very kind of antique look.
And she did it also for a very exacting client. I mean, she loved it. She loved, you know, both her take on the Scandinavian style, but she also liked those little contemporary different touches as well.
Great.
So this time, you've got two very creative designers. How are you going to sort the wheat from the chaff?
They're all wheat. There's no chaff. It's going to be very difficult to make a decision between the two.
There's only room for one of these amateur designers in the quarter-final. After Rob's 2 successes earlier, has Lucy done enough to overtake him?
For many people living in a beautiful medieval cottage is their idea of heaven. But it takes some skill to make sense of those higgledy-piggledy rooms, and you two have done it.
And you both completely nailed your briefs. I mean, who would have thought that we'd have a folksy Scandinavian guest bedroom and a bat cave hidden behind these chocolate box exteriors?
As a result, we've found it quite heartbreaking having to make a decision.
The judges, though, have made their tough decision, and the designer going through to the quarterfinals is Lucy.
Well done.
Yeah, well done, yeah, thank you.
Oh, no, I'm really happy for
Thank you.
No, I am. I'm pretty gutted, really, to be going. You know, just the sheer amount of work that I've put in. A lot of effort, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
Well
Thank
done,
you.
Lucy.
It was brilliant.
Keep
And
it
it
up,
was.
won't you?
Yeah.
I am so disappointed to lose Rob. He is such an exciting designer, and he's good. Look, he won the presentation judging and the challenge, but he was up against Lucy, and her room was close to perfection, and that's why she's the designer going through.
It was a very tough decision between the both of you. Both did really well.
Really, really surprised and ecstatic to go through to the next round.
Oh, I'm just...
Are you pleased?
Absolutely. It's just so good.
Oh.
It's taking me so long looking around and seeing all that you've done.
Going forward, if Lucy maintains this level of perfection, she's one to watch.
Oh, I've really enjoyed it, thank you. It's daunting now, so yeah, the ball's gonna roll all over again.
Next time in Peak District Country Cottages, a brand new set of 4 wannabe designers fight it out.
Good job.
For 3 places in the next round.
The designer going home is